Hey guys, welcome to Day One with the Pony. And today we're talking about managing professional relationships. In the course of your career, you have to manage several types of relationships at work, in across your industry. You have to go to events and you have to network. So I want to talk about all this in a series of 3 videos where I'm going to start today with talking about how to manage relationships at work, and then we'll also talk about how to grow your professional contacts or network across your industry, and then how exactly do you go and network when you go to an event. What's the objective? What exactly do you do to achieve that objective, and how does this further or help your career development? So we're going to talk about all these 3 in different videos, but today we will be focusing on managing those work relationships. So, how do you manage work relationships? The starting point really is emotional intelligence, and that's typically the bedrock for any good relationship. You must be able to develop and grow in your own emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? Intelligence, first of all, is the ability to use and apply knowledge, skills, and when you now add emotions to it and you talk about emotional intelligence, you're talking about your ability to use your emotional capacity to, in situations or in relationships with other people. And it's really about being able to read cues from other people, seeing things from their point of view, therefore understanding better how to relate with them, because this is how they would read a particular situation or scenario, and this is how they would likely react, and therefore you're able to take the right steps when you're in a relationship or when you're relating with them on that particular situation or scenario. So that is emotional intelligence, really. It's about understanding other people and how to use your own emotions to actually relate with them better. It's the bedrock of every relationship. Understanding other people, how they think, how they react, or how they read situations. And those things are very critical when you want to build a work relationships. So it's something you should try and research a lot more on and read a lot more about. As you grow in it, it actually helps you to relate with people a lot better, because you can then read them, you can know what would encourage them, what would actually be required in any particular situation when you're dealing with them. Okay, because again, when we start to talk about stress management, your emotional intelligence is very key when you're managing stress, because you understand this is how this person is feeling right now, and this what could likely happen if you react in a certain way, and therefore you know what to avoid and what to do to diffuse a situation or a conflict scenario. Now, here are 8 key steps that I'm going to give you. The first one is, when you want to build real quality work relationships, don't go to the office looking for friends. Now, it's going to sound counterintuitive that you're trying to build relationships at work, and I'm telling you, don't go to the office looking for friends. But that is a fact. A lot of people go to the office seeking friendships, looking for relationships, looking for everything except the vital thing they're actually there in the office to do, which is to actually work and build a career. Those things happen in the course of the work. You can build friendships, you can build relationships in the course of the work, but that should not be your objective for going to the office. You go to the office to go and work. So let that be the first thing you understand. And that's why the most important thing is you first of all be very professional at your job. You learn to be very good at what you do. So don't go to the office looking for friendships or relationships. It's not the place for that. You have other friends outside work, you have relationships outside work. Your office is a place where you go to work. That is your prime objective. Okay? Always remember that. That is your prime objective. Number two is, you also need to be a positive person. Always be about the positivity. Look, I'm not talking about being overtly optimistic about scenarios or situations. I'm talking about being the person that is able to always bring the positive angle to a situation. That, look, oh, this has happened, and to be very sincere, it's a messed up situation, but I mean, it could have been worse. This could have happened, that could have happened. So I think in some way we need to appreciate the fact that this is what happened, and then we need to start to think about what do we need to do to move forward. So being that positive person who is ready to give others the benefit of the doubt, who is ready to show others other that there is more to them than the negative situation they are currently in or scenario they are in. For instance, your colleague is facing a hard time from their boss, and it's clearly because they have made a mistake on the job. Don't be that colleague that goes to tell them that, oh, you could have done this better. How could you have allowed this to happen? How could you have made this mistake? No, be that colleague that says, look, you are always fantastic in this particular aspect, and that's one of the things I really appreciate about you. And so I feel if this happened, you know, you could have, you will definitely get back from it. So it's just a mistake. Move on to the next task, and so on. Be that positive person. If you have to give someone a criticism, do the sandwich approach: a compliment, the criticism, and a compliment. Put the criticism between two compliments, and that positivity will always help you. So be that positive person. The next thing I will tell you, number 3, is carry your share of the work responsibly. If you're working in a team and everybody has been allocated their tasks in the team, be that teammate that carries his own share of the work and doesn't require pushing or dragging or cajoling before they actually get their task done. Do your part of the work responsibly. Be that person that they can count on, who they know is reliable, that, okay, this is what is assigned to him or her, and they know that you will get it done. Carry your share of the work in the team responsibly. Now, you'll be wondering, how does this all help me to build a relationship? The fact is, a lot of the relationships you will build at work will be related to how people see you handle the work that you do. If they feel that you are someone who doesn't know what to do, they would cast that same view upon the rest of other aspects of your life as well too, and decide, oh, do I really want to be friendly with this kind of person or not? No. So again, it's important that you be very professional at work, and a great part of that is taking your share of whatever is assigned to you and doing it responsibly. Number 4, you need to invest time in the relationships that you build. So over time, as you start to relate with different people at work, and you find that you're able to work with someone a lot better, or you have more fun laughing with this person, or spending lunchtime with this person, and you realize this is a person I do want to cultivate this relationship with, then you need to invest time in those relationships. Take coffee breaks, lunch, do things, find ways to work on assignments together. If you're in meetings, sit down together so that you can share their viewpoint on things that are being discussed and so on. So find time to invest in the relationships that you cultivate at work. It's important that you make out time for your friends, send mails to them. If you find something that you think will be useful to them on their job, or you think will be particularly nice for them, show it to them. I think one of the interesting things I do here, which I find really interesting, is I have a friend who would always send me professional tips, stuff to do with our desk, stuff to do with our jobs, always sending it to me. That's what a friend or a relationship will do to you at work. So you find information that you think will be useful to your colleagues, share it with them. You find some information that you think will be useful to them in other aspects of their life, send it to them. You go for coffee breaks, they need stuff done, you can help them. Find ways you can help them. You see them under stress, find ways to help them. Number 5, appreciate people. It's very important you show appreciation and show gratitude for even the smallest of things. Don't be that person that people do things for and it looks like they just dumped it into the ether. No, it shouldn't just vanish away. Let people know that you actually value those things. There will be times when in future you would even bring it back and say, remember when you did this, I really appreciated it. Well, I thought about you and I thought I should also do this as well. So someone that keeps records of good things that people do for you, but not the bad ones. Good things that people do to you, keep the records and make sure you show proper appreciation, not over appreciation, because again you start to scare people off, or you start to rub people the wrong way when you are too appreciative of small things. But show proper appreciation for anything that anybody does. Show gratitude, say thank you, and say please. Those are basic courtesy that is required in the workplace as well. Number 6, define boundaries. Boundaries are very key, very, very key. Define boundaries that show people how to relate with you as well. Things that you don't like, things that you like. Let people know that, this is not really a topic I'm very comfortable discussing, and it's okay. It's not wrong to tell people. If someone says, oh, let's talk about this person, or this person did this, person did that, no, let them know, well, I'm not typically comfortable discussing this kind of things about people. This is what I feel in this particular scenario. I think it's better we try and tell him that this is not the right thing to do, blah 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 blah, and so on, and move on. So be that person that define your boundaries, so that people know that, oh, I can't bring this kind of discussion to bio. I can't bring this kind of discussion to, Zainab. They know that you will not participate in that kind of discussion. So set your boundaries properly. Having proper boundaries go a long way, especially in relationships with the other sex. For instance, you're married in a relationship, you're married and you're in an office where there are a lot of single people around you. Let's say you're a man and there are a lot of single ladies around you. Let people know that you're married, you have kids, you have a wife, you have a very good relationship at home. And so don't go into relationships in such a way that you can actually create some sort of feelings with another person. Set proper boundaries so that those things don't come back to hurt you. Define proper boundaries. If you know that a colleague is married and you guys are pretty close at work, try and find out more about their spouse and be friends with them as well. Let them know that you know them and you work together and so on. Don't go beyond decent behavior when you're relating with other sexes in the office, and that's why having proper boundaries is very key, very vital as well. Learn to manage stress better, because there will always be stressful times in the office when there's a lot of work, when there are tight deadlines, when you have a boss over your shoulder, when you have something when you made a mistake and when you've done something wrong. There will always be stressful periods at work. When a client is over your head or a client is upset, there will always be stressful periods at work. So learn to manage stress better. And here are 4 quick ways that you can use to manage stress. Number 1 is time away from your desk. Always walk away from your desk when it is really tense and really stressful, and you can take at least 1 or 2 minutes to get away from your desk, even if it's to go to the toilet and just catch your breath, and not ease yourself out, and just take 5 minutes to just 5 seconds, 15 seconds to just relax. Take a break away from your desk. It's very critical. Another thing you can do is you can share your burden with somebody else. There must be somebody in the office, a support network you have of people who you can call and be like, look, I'm really overwhelmed right now. In fact, there's just so much on my desk. I don't know how to get away from it. And you'll be surprised that someone will say something that can ease you at that moment, or can lend a hand, or can help you in some way or the other, that can help you release the stress. At times, keeping it to yourself is often the problem. So sharing, when you have stress, is something that you should learn to do as well too. So time away from your desk, sharing. Another good thing you can do is you can also exercise. There are offices that allow you to take time off, maybe during the day or at the end of the day, to actually go and work out, exercise. I find that time spent in the gym can actually be a very good way of releasing a lot of negative ions or negative feelings that you have in your body, and that's why it's always good to exercise, because we woke up so much stress, so much negativity into our system during the course of the day because of the challenges and the issues and the stress, and then we just take it home and oftentimes release it on our members of our family instead of just working it out before we get home. So take some time out to actually exercise. It is good for your body. It is good for your stress management. It is really, really good for you. Another thing you can do, which can really help you when it comes to managing stress, is you can manage your time a lot better also too. So oftentimes you have several tasks you have to work on at any point in time, and if you manage your time between your tasks, and make sure that you allocate time for each task within your day, you know that if something is stressful at a point in time, you can shift it aside and work on something else that is less stressful. When you are more relaxed, you can come to the other one that is a bit of a stress point for you. So if you share your time between your tasks that way, you find that you might be able to manage your task a little bit better, or manage your stress levels a little bit better. Because one of the problems that happens when you don't manage stress better is that you have an outburst in the office with the wrong person, or you actually go and take out your stress on somebody who you shouldn't have taken it out on, and before you know what's happening, you are in a bad situation. So what you want to do is you want to learn to manage your stress better by 4 key ways. Number 1, time away from your desk, by sharing, by exercising, or by managing your time just a little bit better. Sharing your time among your tasks, so that you can manage stressful tasks from time to time. You don't have to always be on that stressful task alone. The 8th point is communication. You need to learn to communicate better in the workplace. Now, I say this a lot, and I say it to a lot of young professionals. Do not be that person that everybody's always saying, can you speak up? Can you speak up? And this oftentimes has to do with your level of confidence, because you're not very confident. So what do? Communicate a lot better. Speak. If you need to speak slowly so that you can articulate better, then speak slowly. But if you can speak fast and still articulate better, then speak fast. But speak up. Be confident. Say what you need to say, and say what is on your mind. Of course, apply filters where necessary. You don't need to speak in a impolite way when you're at work, but be confident in what you need to say and say it with the right volume. Communicate better also, to learn to communicate with different people at the level they need the communication. You're not in the office to impress people, so your communication is not necessarily to show people the big words that you have learned, but more importantly to communicate in such a way that people understand what you're actually trying to say. So be clear, communicate, and communication is very key to any relationship. So communicate with people often. If people, like I said about investing time in relationships, communication is a very big part of that as well. To communicate with people, if you think a relationship you have someone at work is important, then you communicate with them. Oftentimes, I think people feel neglected when you don't communicate with them, so they feel, I don't really know what's going on in your life, and you're not really telling me also, so I shouldn't be bothered about you. So communication is key, and that's why in any relationship you have, you need to communicate relationships. And as you adopt all this, I'm sure you manage the relationships in your professional life a lot better. Until we meet next time, have a good one.